If you don't think I should have a raise in pay, Chief, I want you to tell me now. Oh, no, you can't have a raise. And here's your mission.
Welcome back to Retro Wednesday at the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about the 1993 Tiger Toys Inspector Gadget toy line. Now, I've got pretty much the toy line here. There's a couple of missing pieces. I'll show pictures of those. But overall, it's an interesting toy line, but it's a decade late, and I think that's why it ultimately failed, and ultimately some parts are a little bit harder to get these days, but it's still pretty cool. Some ingenuity behind these figures and these characters. I'm going to give you the pluses and minuses, the good and the bad, on the Tiger Toys Inspector Gadget, and a few extras along the way coming up. So starting out in 1983, Inspector Gadget was a good TV show. It was kind of funny for kids to watch, enjoyable entertainment. There really wasn't much on, and it was one of the better shows at the time. But it didn't have many toys to go along with it. And I think Galoob made this one here, and it's actually two different versions of a 10-inch figure, and it is okay. And it actually is a little bit more of what you'd expect from an Inspector Gadget figure, and I'll talk about more about that when we get into it, but it has more of an all-in-one. So let's take a quick look at these. Not an in-depth review, just a quick look. Since he's so big, and I'm not going to move everything just for these guys. He has straight arms, and as you can see, he can do the little helicopter thing. But these are all little add-on pieces that you have to clip on and add on. Nothing really pops out of the head or anything. But when you get into the fists and the hands, I'm going to show you on the other one. But the straight arms make it to where you can only hold it like that. You can hold it, the helicopter thing, straight forward. Now, the other one that has more articulation in the arms has a wider one, which I'll show here in a little bit. It does have soft goods overcoat, and you do have a little bit of articulation in the legs, not much. And you do get like a Go Gadget legs, and you get Go head, which I can't really do with this on. But still, it has a few things that are built into it, which when I talk about the line here just a bit, I think we should have had at least one that did everything. Yeah, here's his head. We should have had at least one that did everything in the Tiger line. Here's the later version that has more articulation to it, and you can add this hand, which the joint is real loose after all of these years. I'm sure there's a way to make things work, but to hold this, or you can swap it out and you can hold this, that kind of stuff right there. Now with the arms, now instead of just going straight forward and back, there was no elbow on the other one and no shoulder. So this one has elbow and shoulder articulation, and they both have the same gimmick with a rocket firing hand, and they both have extendable arm. So also comes with these nice handcuffs, which are usually hard to find. And now the fact that he has better articulation, he can hold this. I gotta go find the other hand. And both the hands, I believe both of them have articulation in the hand themselves. So there was a lot more to this than what we're going to see with this Tiger line. But I think this carried a much heavier price point than I think $5 for the other figures back in the 90s. I think this was more like 20 or something, 25 back in 1983. So that's a big deal. All right, starting out, we're going to start by talking about the snap open hat, or the opening hat version of him. And with this is how much taller they are. So they're like a 5.5 inch, so taller than Joe, and well, way less articulation. Now, out of all of the versions, this is the most sought-after version of Inspector Gadget, simply because of the fact that his color of his trench coat matches, well, the cartoon. So with this, he does have arms forward and back, and they can do a 360 and all that. His head does not move at all because it has to be solidified for that gimmick. You do have waist swivel, and you do have a rubber skirt on it, and then you can go forward and back. So with the legs, just a little bit. You can get him in a seating position and seat him in the Gadget Mobile. We're going to talk about that here in a little while too, but let's get into his gimmick. Now his gimmick is simply this. Now this pops up and you've got, now it doesn't originally come packed with a hand. If you open it straight out of the box, it comes packed with this thing, which I believe to be the most useless. It looks like it would work really well, but it is so hard to clip his parts into there. So what you can do is you can clip these pieces here into this hand, and you can Go Gadget and Go Gadget mallet, Go Gadget fly swatter. Terrible impression, I know. Go Gadget. So yeah, Go Gadget fly swatter, Go Gadget magnifying glass, which isn't really a magnifying glass. It does it magnify? It just distorts. Or is it a 2x magnification. But the problem with it is, though, that he really can't see what's going on. He can't use it to its fullest extent unless maybe I can get it to go down. I don't know. I'm afraid this plastic does feel like it's going to snap. And I've seen this plastic snapped on some, so I'm not going to attempt it too much. But kind of an interesting gimmick, but also kind of silly at the same time. This is the button that activates it, and the back of them just looks kind of boring and plain, but so does the front. So it's not a super stellar toy line at all, but if you like Inspector Gadget, then you'll probably have fun just looking at these on your shelf. There's also one that's sort of close to this that they made for Burger King. Burger King made these small 3-inch ones versus 5.5 inch. Still not a good scale with, I don't know, maybe that would work for Joe. Maybe the Burger King toys work for Joe. But yeah, they're smaller. It does have just like a little helicopter. And it is the gray, but it's a dark gray. It's almost a charcoal. But there it is. So the next one is Go Gadget Legs, or Expanding Legs Gadget. As you can see, his legs do expand. And it's real simple. You just kind of push them down in there. And then when you want them to expand, you push the button. And so I generally leave it displayed in its action, each one of them in their action pose, so that you can kind of see what they do. But they do have trouble standing. It is a bit of a pain in the butt to get them to stand, but they do stand, so that works out. Now he also has these, since he's in his skis, he has these poles, and he can go ski around in his poles, but he also comes with roller skates if that's a thing that you want. Now the buttons are on the side here underneath his rubber skirt, and this is the ultimate recolor. I'll get the skates here in just a second, but this is an ultimate recolor line. And not only do they have the gimmicks over and over, but they just have the same, more or less, head sculpt, same arms, same torso, just reused, remolded slightly for different functions. Here's the skates, and he doesn't use the poles when he's skating. He's just la 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 la. So you do have some articulation in there, and the feet actually move in this one. The feet don't move in all of them. So that helps give it a little bit more stability, but it needs a lot more stability than it has. And I have to say, this is the first Inspector Gadget figure I got from the Tiger series from 1993. And I liked it enough to get more, but this definitely is far from my favorite version. I've got more better versions on the way. The next one we're going to get into is Go Gadget Neck. Now, Go Gadget Neck has a few interesting parts about him, and he falls over easily. The thing about him is that he has one gimmick, and it's that, where his head spins. It's a spinning mechanism, so not only does his head go up, it spins. And so there's the release on the back to make it do its thing. Once his head goes up, there's a couple of things you can do with it. Accessory-wise, you can plug in some goggles that I had it upside down. So there's a hole here and here, and then tabs into it. You can also tab in this satellite on his head. So he's got that going on. I mean, is there anything cooler than that? That is kind of cool. And of course, he comes with these here. Now, this is not the last time you see this, but it's slightly different molded in. But you can use this for the gimmick coming up with Dr. Claw. But there's also another figure that comes with this claw hand. So it's almost like you want to have, a certain version of the figure just to have the accessory, because this is a cool accessory, but we're not to that figure yet. Now, I do want to say that this is not the only purple one that's in the line, but it's the darker purple. There's more of a lighter purple lavender one we're going to take a look at next, and it has a different feature. So as you can see, wouldn't it have been fun to have like all the features built into one figure? It would have cost more, but I think it's strange how they're going with so many different versions and similar color variations. All right, so next up we're going to get into the expanding hands, and he already expanded his hand. And I want to say that all these mechanisms are fiddly. Very, very, very fiddly. And right out of the box, they're even a little bit fiddly. Right out of the package, or out of the blister card package. But first thing I want to show is that this is one purple and this is another purple. So let's set him off to a side here, and we are going to get into looking at this guy. Now, his one gimmick is hands. I only pushed this one button, but the vibration caused this one to go. Now, there is something else interesting about this gimmick, and you know, I actually think you can do with a couple of the other ones similar things, but you swap the hands. This has a saw on it. This one has a hammer, Go Gadget hammer finger. So there's more to it than that, but you can pop them off, which I already did. I pre-popped them off and pre-popped them onto another one. And so this one has a Go Gadget key. This is like a grandfather key. Is that what they call it? The skeleton key. Skeleton key that can get anything. And then Go Gadget phone. And, you know, he's before his time having a mobile phone in 1983. So, I mean, I thought he was like rich. Like, ooh, you got a cell phone. You're rich. Nowadays, that doesn't mean the same thing. So here it is. And I think there's only one more real variation. And that's just boring gripping hands. So you have boring gripping hands. And then you have all these other cool hands. So obviously I display them with all the other cool hands. This almost looks like a thumbs up. But yeah, lots of fun. The next one we have is the Gadget Fumble, or the Fall Apart Gadget, or however you want to say it. But it actually has quite a few different gimmicks going on with it. And this one here, so we're going to see a little bit of fun with them. So first off, he has no articulation in the legs because of the gimmick, but he still has his arms that articulate, but I'd be careful. The head still articulates, and the most articulation in the head because of the gimmick. Now, he has two buttons in the back. One is to release the arms and head, and one is to release the legs. Now, I have an extra one that I don't have all the parts for, and he actually works pretty well as a driver of one of the Gadget Mobiles. So, since I was missing a leg or something and it can't stand, I can still display this figure missing parts as a driver, which is really cool and a lot of fun. So let's get into looking at the function. And Go Gadget legs fall off, and this part here. Oh, and yes, you can press them at the same time and have an effect. So it comes with a torso and all these parts. Now, it only comes with two legs, so you don't get any extra legs, but you do get some extra arms. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the extra arms in and get them assembled. So here are the old arms in the back that we've already looked at. Now you get a couple of different arms. So you get this one here with a kind of, like we said before, that you're going to get this handcuffs. And then you have boring hands and arms. So no reason to put the other boring arm on. But one of the things that you can do is you can just go up and like, ah ha ha, and flip it. I got you. Wait, where are you at? Oh, it's a bomb. Yeah, fun gimmick. Fun gimmick. So with this, it all pops apart, and let's see if we can do it all at the same time. Well, around the same time. I like these here because this has a hammer on it, which is very similar, like I was saying, to one of the other ones, but they don't remove. So it's similar, like it's the same molding that they used, but it doesn't remove. It's all in one unit, which means you can't swap the parts between the figures. You can only swap the parts, well, if you had another one of these or something. So I was thinking more part interchangeability would have been a little bit more fun in the toy line, since they are basically the same mold, but doesn't allow for it, and I'm sure that's a cost effort, but still pretty cool for the break apart. So next up we have the Wind Surfer version, and I have to tell you that this is goofy. It's just, he is literally a head. He's got a head articulation. He does have arm articulation, very little, and I'm afraid to do much more, but it does do the wind up and go kind of thing. Not very well, but yeah, anyway, it's got a wind up mechanism to it. And you have this gadget sail. You've got these posts that plug in, and then you put the sail in there. So that's how it goes. It is kind of lame, actually, but it's a toy, and I'm sure kids had fun playing with it. And I don't remember this episode, but you know, maybe it was an episode. Let's get on to one that's way lamer than this. If you think this one's lame, I got a much lamer one coming up. Okay, this one here is the squirting version. They call it Water Pistol. And the last one was called Wind Surfer. So I don't think I said that. But anyway, Wind Surfer. This one is the lamest one out of all of them. And he's got like a little umbrella up here that just plugs in. And that's strange. He's got a life preserver raft. And he has a rubber ducky. And he has the worst feet ever on any of these. I can balance him. He's standing. I'm shocked he's standing. He always falls over. But all he does is, I guess you just stick his finger in the water, and then you suck some water up, and then you squirt with it. It's just a little squirt gun, like a cheap $1 squirt gun kind of thing, like a bathtub toy. I guess he really is a bathtub toy. This is lame. But anyway, I got it. I mean, I didn't got it in a lot, and I really didn't go after it, and so it's there. There's some gems in this toy line. This is not one of them. So this is the Go Gadget motorcycle, which is almost non-existent. I just stumbled across one and I was like, I thought it was a bootleg, and so I picked it up because I was like, oh cool, I'll have a bootleg. Turns out it was officially a Tiger one. I just thought it was pretty cool, but I haven't seen another one since, so it's one of those strange things that doesn't pop up very often, but it's kind of fun to have one of these. Now, Penny is a figure. Penny and Brain are sold separately, and so it actually comes with a helmet for her. That's her helmet, that they made it for her, but she doesn't come with it herself. And it comes with not only the helmet, but this flag. And I'm going to be very delicate with it because I don't think replacement parts will ever exist. So we're going to take this wheel off. It's not in my wheelhouse to break it. And fold this up. Fold his legs down. And I think that's all the articulation you're going to get. You don't even get side-to-side articulation. You do get some head articulation. And he doesn't stand all that well. But that's what he looks like in his Inspector Gadget mode. Now, I think there's more retooled parts in this because even though this, it's not rubber at all. It's all hard plastic. So it's all retooled. I don't even think they used the same torso, did they? Is that the same torso? Well, yeah, no? I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's similar, but this handle here I think is permanently in there. I don't think it comes up and down. If it does come up and down, I've got it. Oh, yeah, it does go in. Yeah, it does go in. That's cool. But I've had it in motorcycle mode for forever. So anyway, it's a cool gimmick, but it's very, very scary, fragile, and replacing it might be something of an impossibility. Now the last one is Go Gadget Helicopter. I don't have that yet, and I'll probably pick it up. I kind of figure I'll buy another lot just for a couple of the parts that I still need here and there, and I'm sure that'll show up for real cheap. And I could buy a Cardo one for 30, so it's like one of those that I'm not too worried about, but it is kind of cool. You do a ripcord, and then it actually takes the whole figure and flies the whole figure away. And of course, you can lose the figure that way also, but it's a simple gimmick. It's not the worst in this line, but it's not one that I'm looking for heavily. Now for Penny and Brain. These are sold as a 2-pack, and I don't 100% know if I've got them completed or not, but I think I'm there. Maybe there's some other stuff that goes with it that I don't have, but this is a lot of stuff with it. So anyhow, Penny she comes with her surfboard, and Brain does not stay up. I did some double-sided tape on him so he stays in the display, but he will topple over front heavy. So let's take a look at Penny first though, and get Brain out of the way here. Now I do have paint app issues on both of my versions of Penny, so if they're played with, they have paint app issues. And there is the like jet skateboard that she has, and it plugs into the hole on her foot, and that makes me think, do they all have holes in their feet? And I think they all do. I think every one of these has holes in their feet, and you could sort of put them on her little jet piece there if you want to. So, and she has this little book here, and it opens up, and I think you can disconnect it and stuff. And on the inside is, let's see if this piece here disconnects. Watch me break it. On the inside we have just some cute computer looking stuff. So pretty cool, pretty interesting. Not the greatest accessories in the world, but it's relevant to the character, so then I'm okay with it. If it's relative to the character and irrelevant, it's good. Now, this is Brain, the dog, in his disguise. He comes with the mustache, which is removable, and he comes with the sombrero, which is removable. It's really hard to get on and off, so I'm not going to mess with it, but there he is. You can see his eyes and all that kind of stuff. So kind of fun. The glasses that go on there, they don't stay on all that well. It's yeah, that stays on better. But fun little, this is stuff he did to kind of go along and hide and blend in, because he was there to save the day and to help Gadget. If you watch the show, then you know that's Penny and Brain. Before Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., there was Agent of Mad. This is the Mad Agent. And this is one that I would like to troop build. Not a heavy one, just like 3 of them. But he is kind of pricey because I think other people already have the idea. Like, let's get a few of these so you have some henchmen in the background. And there's only 2 bad guys, him and this is Dr. Claus Henchman, and we got Dr. Claus. So with it, he does have a little bit of articulation in his arms and his head a little bit, and the legs. Just very basic 5 POA, but it's all around holding this bazooka, which he cannot do it and stand. So anyway, putting this bola thing in here. I did kind of do some tape on that thing so that they stay in place, but let's shoot this off, see how powerful it is. And it's pretty powerful, and theoretically it's supposed to like hit something and wrap around it. That's the whole bola idea. Bola was really popular in the 90s, as you could tell. Waterworld did it, and I think they did it a bit in Jurassic Park and some other toy lines. So maybe even Batman did a bola, but a lot of bola in the 90s, and like no bola going on in 2023 that I know of. But kind of cool, kind of interesting henchman. Looks pretty cool. It's got like a really short tire. It's tucked into his shirt. It's an interesting looking character. They put some time and effort into this guy. A very unique mold. But let's see. Dr. Claw. I'll get you, Gadget. Dr. Claw was one of the cooler villains from back in the day. And I remember thinking, like, how come I don't see his face? Why do you only see the back of him? It's kind of like the Darth Vader mentality. Like, he's scarier because you can't see his face. You never see his face. And I've got to tell you that, I'm sure if you're watching this, you've probably already seen his face, but the big face reveal. And, oh, he doesn't at all, in my mind, match. He doesn't at all, in my mind, match the character at all. In my opinion, I think that this doesn't quite look right. But that's the look they went with, and that's what they made him look like. So, Gadget. That voice isn't coming out of that weird looking face. I would think he'd be like, Gadget. Oh, I don't know. I don't know the right voice for this. Are you disappointed in the face? Does it not match the voice to you? It just doesn't match the voice to me. But still a cool looking figure, and one that's sort of hard to get. And I bought the reason I have most of these is I bought a collection, and almost everything was in it. So I was like, yeah, I might as well just buy them and check them out. So I did, and I'm glad I did, because it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun having a Dr. Claw. And then he also comes with this bomb, and I think you push the button on right here on the back, and you can deploy his bomb. And then you can lose his bomb, which is why you don't see him with his bomb very often. And that's another thing, is like, I bought the collection, and a lot of the hard to find parts were in there, so I didn't have to chase down but just a handful of them, so that was good too. He also comes with Marmot. Oh wait, no, it's not Marmot, that's his cat. I don't know the name of the cat. I mean, there probably is a name out there somewhere. Hold on. Nope, don't have the name of the cat. So anyway, it's just one solid plastic piece, but it's still cool. It's cool to have the cat, and it's a lot of fun. And so with this, you're getting a lot of stuff that should have been out in 1983, but you had to wait till 1993, and by then, I think people lost interest, mostly kids. Next up is the Gadget Mobile. Now, this is probably the coolest part of the toy line. Out of all of the figures, out of everything that they've done, this Gadget Mobile is very cool because it kind of brings the show to life. It brings what was going on in the show when it transformed to life. Now, this is his police car mode, and most of the time he would drive around in his regular car mode, his van mode, and then it would transform into the police car when something had to happen and he had to go do stuff. So it's cool that it has a transforming function, but as a police car, he doesn't have a light. There was no engineered light in, and obviously on the inside you could fit a total of 4 figures. You can fit a passenger and then 2 more in the back, but all you'll have is Penny and Brain in there. So that's kind of funny. But anyway, let's get into the feature it has, and I'll use another gadget, I guess, to show this feature off. And which gadget? I guess I'll use this gadget. So he'll roll up, and you can grab with this piece, and that's all that whole function does. It's a grabber, and if it gets misaligned, because it does get misaligned sometimes, you just can kind of line the gears back up to where it still works. And because it does transform, it does kind of push it back to use that function. So now It does have some paint and stickers. The red paint here, sticker, that's yellow paint, I believe. And then you got this nice pinstripe going all the way through here, and then rubber tires, which is cool. And then you have stickers on the back, Spectre Gadget lights, and this side looks just like the other one. Now let's go ahead and get this guy transformed up. So first thing you can do, or the second, or the last thing, is just flip that around. So you flip it around, and see if he's in the way there. You can do the transformation with him in it. Probably not with all the figures in it, but with him in it. And then there from the back, it looks a little bit different from the back. And it already looks a little bit fatter. Now you're going to take this hood, and you're going to fold it around, and then you fold this to where it's aligned with that, and then just get that down just a little bit, and then you can collapse it. So let me see, his feet are in the way. All right, and then go in all of the way here. It's giving me trouble today. It doesn't usually give me this much trouble. Fold that down, there we go. And I guess you do need to transform it with no figure in it. I have the one with no legs back here. When I transform that one, and I mess with that one the most. So anyway, here it is in the van mode. A lot of these stickers have wear. Almost everyone I see has sticker wear, unless you get one mint in the box, sealed in the box, and people are asking like $700 for sealed in the box now. That's insane. I didn't pay over $100 for any of these, so and I wouldn't. By the way, these are, they pop up and go away, but if you really want one, you can just watch the market, and several pop up every month. So anyway, looking at it, there's his van. This is what he drives most of the time. It's pretty cool. Now let's get it transformed back. Transforming it back is a snap. So see how easy that was? Transforming it back. But there is the Gadget Mobile. And yeah, it squeaks. Gotta oil them wheels. We're gonna take a look at some of these Burger King toys that came around the same time, I guess, but 91 maybe or something. I don't know. Go Gadget Head, Arms Move, and Go Gadget Legs. The Burger King toys integrate more into one figure than any of the Galoob do. This one here, you get the Go Legs with it, and you don't get the head, but you get, it's a windsurfer. Now, I don't know if he's got an accessory I'm missing or something, or he just has a skateboard, and maybe it's just a skateboarder version. And then we have the scuba version, which has a Go Head and Go Legs, and so not bad. The Burger King toys are not absolutely horrible. They're not great, but these are $1 options back in the day. I don't think you see toys this cool at McDonald's or Burger King or any of those places for $1 anymore, not in 2022. So I want to say that I don't think they ever made a Chief Quimby anywhere except for when Blitzway did their little run, and Blitzway made a Penny, I think a Brain, and yeah, Penny and Brain, Quimby, and Gadget. Now, I'm not going to review all of this, but I'm going to say simply just because I don't have a representation of this character, and it exists, I picked one up, loose, cheap, to put in my collection, and this sucks. I might glue that in there, or not glue it. He doesn't have any articulation. He falls apart. He just pegs in. It's not great, and considering what Blitzway just did with Voltron, and this is what you get with this guy for $50, that's kind of crazy. I haven't reviewed this guy yet, but this entire line should get a full review one day from me when I get the day to do it. But it looks awesome, and I just want to say this is what should have been in the first place with all of the stuff that's included with this guy, and a lot of the stuff sort of built in. It's actually not built in, so maybe one will come that's all built in. You plug in and swap. That's kind of a cool idea. It's a way to do it. It's a way to go, but I would actually still like to have an all built in where like the legs pop out, the arms pop out, the head pops out, stuff pops out of the head. The way I would imagine it, but this is still the closest thing we're going to get to a good one aside from the 1983 10-inch version. All right, so this is my look at the entire toy line of the Tiger Toys Inspector Gadget line from 1993, and it is good and bad. It has some pluses and minuses. Kind of fun there to compare it and contrast it to the 1983 10-inch version, and of course some of the Blitzway that's going on there, so there's some more stuff, plus the Burger King toys weren't the worst Burger King toys in the world. As with this toy line, the Squirter thing is kind of the lamest of all of them, but there are some cool ones, several cool items, and cool features for these. I would have liked an all-in-one. I still would like an all-in-one where you get all the gimmicks in one, and that would be cool. But we finally got a Dr. Claus, the only Dr. Claus I know of, and of course the only Mad Henchman. So with this, the transforming car is awesome, the Gadget Mobile. So there's so many good things about this toy line that you can't hate the toy line, but you got to say that some of them were kind of lame. Overall, I've had a lot of fun collecting it, and it's a lot of fun displaying it, and I look forward to seeing what else comes for Inspector Gadget in the future, if it has a future. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you have any of this? Do you like this toy line? Have you never even heard of this toy line? Like, subscribe to Darren here out.
Mad's master impersonator, Presto Changeo, attempting to infiltrate police secret meetings. Your mission is to find him before he learns any secret plans. This message will self-destruct. You and Brain taking the sights, Penny. I'm always on duty.
Now let's see. All of Presto Changeo's known disguises have been logged in. If I photograph him in one of them, the alarm should sound.
And just what do you think you're doing?
Oops. Oh. Gadget? Arrest him, Chief. That's Presto Changeo.
In minutes, Mad will be in possession of plans to stay ahead of the police force for a full year. And Inspector Gadget will make the world safe for crime.